Okay, people, I want to talk about Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in this segment. So, I'm going to say something right now that a lot of people are not going to like to hear, but I've always had the firm belief that Aaron Rodgers has been a better quarterback than Tom Brady. I've always felt that. Once Aaron Rodgers started entering his prime in 2011, at no point when looking at Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers side by side have I felt to myself, man, Tom Brady is that much better than Aaron Rodgers. I've never felt that way. I just haven't. And I've always said that Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. I recently did my top 5 quarterback list. I didn't really make a whole video about it, but I mentioned it in a recent, segment. I said that Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, John Elway, and Aaron Rodgers are the top 5 quarterbacks of all time as we speak today in October of 2020. And now Tom Brady is in Tampa Bay with the Buccaneers. Okay, so I will say this. Tom Brady has a chance to really add to his legacy this year. He's already got a lofty legacy, but if Tom Brady were to win a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, that will silence a lot of critics because for a long time, he's had Bill Belichick by his side. Something Aaron Rodgers has not had the benefit of having. I felt that for a long time, Mike McCarthy was actually holding Aaron Rodgers back. And by the way, based on what Mike McCarthy, is putting out there in Dallas, it looks like that's the honest truth. That really is, okay? And as we speak today in October of 2020, let's keep in mind that for Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's career, when we compare it side by side, Aaron Rodgers is 11th all-time in completion percentage in the regular season. Tom Brady is 16th. Aaron Rodgers, first all-time in career passer rating in the regular season. Tom Brady is 6th. Aaron Rodgers, number 1 all-time in touchdown to interception ratio. Tom Brady 3rd. Aaron Rodgers averages 2.1 touchdown passes per game. Tom Brady, 1.9 touchdown passes per game. The statistics show that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. I know that stats aren't everything, but they're records of events that happen. And the record shows that statistically, Aaron Rodgers has been better than Tom Brady in the regular season. Just saying, people. But see, I've always felt that Tom Brady was the greatest and most accomplished quarterback of all time. But I've always said Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback of all time. What does that mean? That means if I could choose one quarterback to start my franchise with from scratch, if I don't know if I'm guaranteed to get a Bill Belichick, if I'm not guaranteed to get a great offensive line, if I'm not guaranteed to get a number 1 wide receiver, if I'm guaranteed my defense is going to be doo-doo for a long time, I want Aaron Rodgers leading that squad. And Aaron Rodgers, can we all just admit, he's just flat out more talented than Tom Brady. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, has 1,000% mastered the quarterback position. And Tom Brady has definitely mastered the quarterback position in his own right. The only problem is he's not as talented as one Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, when we talk about arm strength, throwing out platforms, throwing on the run, throwing with touch, deep ball accuracy, the amount of throws that Aaron Rodgers has in his arsenal, some of those throws Tom Brady just flat out does not have. I guarantee you, if you were to look up Tom Brady's best throws on YouTube compared to Aaron Rodgers' best throws on YouTube, just from an eye test perspective, Aaron Rodgers' throws are 10 times more impressive. Should I even bring up the rushing statistics? Because as far as I'm concerned, Tom Brady can barely run for 5 yards. Aaron Rodgers, we've seen him be able to run for 20 to 25 yards from time to time down the field. Aaron Rodgers is a better athlete than Tom Brady. And Aaron Rodgers makes throws in a game that Tom Brady simply cannot even make in practice, people. He's more talented. And I know what you people are going to say. Tom Brady's got 6 Super Bowl rings. What are you talking about? You're a buffoon. You're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. But I've always felt that players are not defined by rings, especially in football. Teams and coaching staffs and organizations are defined by rings. Because when you're a quarterback, you depend on so many other guys to make you look good and to help you win football games. And for what it's worth, Tom Brady won his first 3 Super Bowls being a game-managing quarterback. I know that's hard for some Patriots fans to swallow, but that's the honest truth. Tom Brady was not a top 5 quarterback at any point when he won his first 3 Super Bowls. Now, when Tom Brady started going off in 2007, we said that guy's different, okay? Even though he did choke to Eli Manning in the Super Bowl, we still recognize that, hey, Tom Brady's great. But for what it's worth, in the playoffs for their career, who's got the better completion percentage between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady? Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers. Who's got the better passer rating in the playoffs for their career? Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers, 100 to 89.8. Almost 11 points higher is Aaron Rodgers' passer rating than Tom Brady in the playoffs. Interesting. Who's got the better touchdown to interception ratio? It's Aaron Rodgers. What's the difference between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers? In my opinion, I'll say Tom Brady's a little bit more clutch than Aaron Rodgers, definitely. But the thing about Tom Brady is he's played on significantly better rosters and has had much better coaching staffs. And here's a fun fact that really puts the nail in the coffin as to why I feel Aaron Rodgers is just flat out better than Tom Brady. Here's a fun fact. Aaron Rodgers, in 18 career playoff games, has never failed to score 20 points in the playoffs. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl versus the LA Rams by a score of 13-3. And by the way, he didn't get MVP in that game. Julian Edelman got MVP in that game, even though apparently Tom Brady is just throwing to nobody but bums and slot receivers off the street. That's what I've been told. I don't think so, people. Here's another fun fact that supports my argument. During Tom Brady's entire career, during the playoffs, when he has scored less than 25 points in a game on offense, guess what? He has a winning record. 12 wins and 9 losses. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that disproves your argument because Tom Brady finds a way to win games when he plays badly. Maybe you can say that, but I'd argue that proves my point because if Aaron Rodgers fails to score 20 points in a playoff game, his team virtually loses almost every single time. In fact, 3 of those 12 wins that Tom Brady got when he did not score 25 or more points in a playoff game, 3 of those wins were in Super Bowls. What does this tell you, people? It tells me personally that Tom Brady is on a roster that doesn't solely rely upon his greatness. Bill Belichick has stolen games from opposing teams when Tom Brady has played poorly due to running the football effectively, due to his defense creating turnovers, and for what it's worth, Bill Belichick and the Patriots at times, they cheated from time to time. That's just the harsh reality that some Patriots fans don't want to admit, but the Patriots, they've been accused for cheating in the past. I got to hold that argument against you guys right there, okay? And by the way, Aaron Rodgers has 8 career playoff losses, okay? In those 8 career playoff losses, his team has given up 36.4 points per game. And here's a fun fact, people. Tom Brady, in 41 career playoff games, has had his defense only give up 30 points 5 times. Keep that in mind, people. Only 5 times in 41 games that Tom Brady has started in the playoffs has Bill Belichick's defense given up 30 points or more. That's astonishing. And by the way, Tom Brady, his record in those games is 2-3, people. And meanwhile, you got Aaron Rodgers in his 8 career playoff losses. His defense gives up 36.4 points per game. By the way, Aaron Rodgers, for his playoff career, when his defense allows 25 points or less, he's 9-1. And by the way, Tom Brady, he set a record for passing yards in the Super Bowl. He threw for the most passing yards in Super Bowl history versus the Philadelphia Eagles a couple years ago. But guess what? He lost. You want to know why he lost? He lost because his defense gave up 41 points to Nick Foles, and Tom Brady, as great as he was, he could not overcome his defense's shortcomings. In fact, Tom Brady, he fumbled when it mattered most. I'm just saying, people, How many times have we seen Tom Brady play poorly and Bill Belichick steal games because the Patriots run the football effectively, because the Patriots defense bails them out with turnovers? In fact, I'm sure you all remember the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl. Guess what? In the second half of that game, Matt Ryan and the Falcons, their offense was virtually shut down. Outside of scoring one touchdown in the second half, Bill Belichick shut that offense down. People give Tom Brady credit for that comeback, but guess what? A comeback doesn't happen if the other team keeps scoring. So Bill Belichick, he allowed Tom Brady to be clutch. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers' defenses, kind of, held the opposing team in check for a little while and allow Aaron Rodgers to get hot until the fourth quarter, and then they say, okay, Aaron, it's a one-possession game. You need to deliver for us right here, right now. I guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers more times than not could come through for his team. But sometimes that's not the case because, well, the game's over at halftime, just like it was versus the 49ers this past year, just like it was versus the Falcons a couple years ago. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Some of these games for Green Bay have been over at halftime because Aaron Rodgers' defense can't stop a nosebleed, and he has to virtually play perfect for the Packers to even be in these games. Not the case with Tom Brady. And like I mentioned earlier, we've seen Tom Brady win a Super Bowl scoring only 13 points in that game versus the Rams. Bill Belichick shut down the number one ranked Los Angeles Rams offense. Jared Goff was playing great. Tyler Gurley was looking like a star, but Bill Belichick and that defense, along with Brian Flores, they shut the Rams down and they bailed Tom Brady out because Tom Brady in that Super Bowl was not very good. I don't care what any of you Patriots fans say, Tom Brady played poorly, and there's no evidence put forward that can convince me otherwise. And by the way, people, we'll never know if this is the case, but I guarantee you that if Tom Brady doesn't have Bill Belichick by his side, the greatest coach of all time, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady is no better than Drew Brees, who's got one ring. He's no better than Aaron Rodgers. He's no better than Peyton Manning. Because Tom Brady, he might get a ring or two because he's great. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. He's super clutch. But ultimately, in the times in which Tom Brady has played poorly, he's had a really good coaching staff and a really good roster around him to bail him out. And Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and specifically Aaron Rodgers, they have not had that luxury. So all I'm trying to say, people, is listen. Tom Brady can be the GOAT, but Aaron Rodgers, you better appreciate him. And honestly, I don't care what anyone says. There's not a more talented quarterback I've ever laid my eyes on other than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he's that guy. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's not Dan Marino. It's not Brett Favre. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's the most talented and most get-to-thrower of the football of all time. And his stats in the playoffs have been better than Tom Brady in completion percentage, in passer rating, in touchdown-interception ratio. He's had a better completion percentage in the regular season. He's had a better pass rating in the regular season than Tom Brady. He's got a better touchdown-interception ratio in the regular season than Tom Brady. He averages more touchdowns per game than Tom Brady. Statistically, he's been better than Tom Brady. The eye test shows clearly he's been better than Tom Brady. Unfortunately, the results don't show it because Aaron Rodgers, he's had coaching staffs that's held him back. He's had an organization that doesn't attract free agents. He's had an organization that doesn't have an owner. And he's overall not had the support around him that Tom Brady has had to win multiple Super Bowls. And that's the harsh reality for Aaron Rodgers, But I'm going to tell my truth, and the honest truth for me is that Aaron Rodgers has always been a better quarterback than Tom Brady. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. and I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.